Amazon package. Ooh, honey. What is up, guys? My name is Billy and welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time, welcome. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you don't miss anything in the future. But today, I got the markers. Supposedly the best brush tip markers that you can get for the price. And I've used a couple markers. Oh yeah, I have. I've used like Copic, Shuttle Art, some janky ones I found on like Wish. But today, we're looking at Ohuhu. 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 By the way, this is the 72 colors alcohol marker Ohuhu brush and chisel double tipped sketch markers. So what's very important about these is that it has a brush. Very important. Chisel, cool, but brush. The reason I picked these up off of Amazon is because of the reviews. There were like thousands of reviews and I've heard a lot of good things about this particular brand of markers. So I wanted to really give them a full review and try them myself and give you my impressions. Have you used these markers before? Comment down below, let me know. Or if you have a particular favorite alcohol marker, let me know what your favorite one is. Oh, get it over. Get out of there. Thumbnail. Woo! Hello. Got everything from grass green to brilliant blue to sunflower, spectrum green, meadow green, pastel pink. You got your Caribbean blue. Gotta have your Caribbean blue. You got your bud green. That really says bud green. You got all the colors that you need. You can tell this feels good in my hand. It's not wonky. It doesn't have like that hexagon shape like the Spectrum Noir markers do. The Spectrum Noir is a good marker all around. However, it's pretty uncomfortable to hold. It's like holding a small screwdriver, trying to hold a Spectrum Noir marker or anything like it that has like that weird hexagon shape. These markers are nice and smooth and round. And as you can see on the tip, there's like a little notch there to prevent it from rolling off the table. I'm not sponsored by Ohuhu, by the way. I want to go ahead and actually put this into my storage. As you can see here, my current marker situation is not okay. So sit with me as I make it beautiful. But now let's go ahead and swatch one of these. So I will take a Geranium Red, I guess that's pronounced. Nice deep red. Let's go ahead and swatch it. Oh my. That is rich, buddy. The pigmentation is really nice and bright. This is a dark color, but it's super saturated and very nice. But as I said earlier, these do have the paintbrush tip. So as you can tell, it's pointed like a little brush versus this side, which is a like chisel nib. So you can use this to kind of get into smaller areas, or if you want to color in a large surface, you can do that. But the brush is really good for blending and overall getting that like smooth natural stroke. Mint green, minty fresh indeed. And the nibs on these markers are very pointy and durable. So to me, I guess the pointier of the brush nib the better, because it allows you to really get into those small areas that you really wouldn't be able to get into with something like this catastrophe. So on the left is a Spectrum Noir yellow alcohol marker that I've had for some time and have been using. That's a brush nib. And on the right is a brand new Ohuhu marker, which you can tell just is gorgeous. I'm pretty sure I've damaged the left one, so don't use that as the standard for Spectrum Noir, but hopefully these tips don't fray and they remain durable. But from what I can tell, this is an extremely nice nib, and it feels very durable. The line feels predictable. So let's go ahead and swatch these colors out real quick and see what they look like. So there are all the colors swatched out. Now I do actually have some duplicates, so just disregard that. But the important part here is that the color on the cap actually depicts the color dried on paper. So we take our RY3 here and we look at this color. I'd say that it looks pretty identical. So that looks pretty good. A color like R8 also looks pretty good. That's a dark red, which pretty much depicts the color on the paper, same as on the cap. Colors overall are super saturated, and I think there's some nice variations of colors that you can use. I will say that there's not too many skin tone choices, but that's to be expected in most marker sets. I have yet to come across a marker set that has a huge color spectrum of skin tones that actually look right. So to test the marker's durability, I'm going in and just continuously coloring one big page. This took about 5 to 10 minutes, but not once did the ink get dull or did the marker stop working, so very impressive. And as you can tell on the Ohuhu marker on the left there, the nib is still perfectly pointy, it's not fraying. And I'm just doing a comparison actually with the Copic on the right, and as you can see, the Copic and the Ohuhu marker are identical in shape. They both have a very pointy nib at the top, and the barrel of the marker is also very similar and round. So not a lot of differences honestly between these two markers, except of course the price, where Copic's gonna run you a couple $100s for a set of, 72, whereas 72 Ohuhu markers are going to cost you $64.99. Now, are Copics better quality? Yes, Copics are the best quality. But if you're in a situation where you need a cheaper alternative, and you can't afford the Copics, then, something like Ohuhu markers is a good route to take. And even after saturating that whole page with one color, still it's looking juicy. As you can tell, I'm just going right back in over it again, and it's still giving me all the color I need, and the nib is not fraying, so that gets a thumbs up for me. So one thing about these Ohuhu markers, and to be honest, most cheap brands of alcohol markers, sometimes you'll pull the cap off and the whole ink cartridge pulls out with the cap, and then you get small ink splatters everywhere. Not a fun time, not a fun time. So I recommend taking your time putting on and taking off the caps of the markers to avoid ink splatter, nib damage, or just ripping out the color cartridge. Now I'm going to test these Ohuhu markers with a character design of some kind. I love illustrating with alcohol-based markers because the colors blend together and give character illustrations a real sense of depth and dimension. So I used a pencil and a fine liner to create this little Luigi outline. Now I'm going to go in with the Ohuhu markers and see how they actually blend together. So during the illustrating process, I actually noticed right away that the colors don't really streak, but I had to go over my areas pretty thoroughly to get one consistent flat tone. In other words, maybe like a Copic marker, you would only have to go over the area once or twice to get the area fully bright and toned, versus maybe a cheaper alternative, you'll find yourself going over your work a little bit more, but honestly it isn't a huge deal to me. But the blending worked out pretty well in my opinion. The colors, like I said, are vivid and bright, and the fact that the cap of the marker not only gives you a description of the color, for example cherry red, it also gives you a numerical sequence. So if you're new to blending, you can follow it and it'll help you achieve your light to dark shade. For example, the 3 tones of green I used for Luigi were G2, G3, and G4. And I know a lot of alcohol markers out there obviously have the numerical order of the shades, but it's not too often that you have both a description of the color and the numerical shade on one marker, so it's a nice little nuance. Luigi! I always liked Luigi a little bit more in the games because he could jump a little higher and float a little longer. Made it easier. But if you found any value from those tips and stuff, please go ahead and subscribe to my channel for future content like this, and also like the video if you liked it. But overall, I'm going to say that I really love these markers for the price that you're paying, for the quality that you're getting, from the vibrancy of the colors to the quality of the brush nib to the overall experience that you get with them, definitely worth the price. If you've seen Jazz's videos on alcohol markers where he literally tests every single one, I do believe Ohuhu was highly ranked up there somewhere. But I'll go ahead and I'll throw the link to these down in the description so you can pick them up if you'd like. An Amazon affiliate link. So by clicking on that link, you're helping support the channel, and I really appreciate that. But as always, thank you so much for watching. Peace.